Hello everyone, it's Oliver Harper here, and I'm back with Brad Watson for some more Indiana Jones. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good, sir. You all right?
I'm doing very well. I've got a cup of tea, so I am sorted.
Wonderful.
If you wish to sync your copy of Temple of Doom with our commentary, put the timestamp to 0, skip past the THX logo, and press play now.
I mean, we don't get to do a commentary over the THX logo.
Well, technically it's not. It's just added on, isn't it? It's just bolted on.
It's fine. Right. Okay. I remember going to see this movie jazzed because it was like, and this was now when I knew who Steven Spielberg was as a kid.
It's like the rank logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bloke going.
Yep.
This is great because at this point, I'm trying to think, was Raiders on video at that point? Because
Yes, I believe so.
There's-
Because that little teaser trailer we just watched. That's
Yes.
on the thing. Yeah, that was on the front of the Raiders Lost Ark video.
right.
So I remember
The
seeing
teaser's
it.
well weird. It's like they're filming it now.
Yeah, it's like, by the way, this movie's being made.
Yeah. This movie is brilliant because it is another throwback to the musicals of the past.
Yep.
And the set expands into this massive big show, which
Yeah,
is kind of out of reality.
Just becomes this whole surreal sort of Gene Kelly style.
Well, that's what they did, didn't
Yeah.
they? They just
Yeah.
had this dance number that goes off into this
Yeah,
massive...
well, Spielberg's always wanted to do a
stage.
musical, and this was him sort of stretching those legs a bit. But you know, I'm going to say right off the bat, I am a massive defender of this film. For some reason, people got it in their head that this film isn't very good. Well, they're fools. They're idiots. Is it as good as Raiders? No, because Raiders is probably the greatest film ever made. But
Is it as good as Last Crusade?
I put it above Last Crusade. Yep, for reasons, and I adore Last Crusade.
I disagree, for
But
reasons.
yeah, well, you know, we're just going to put our mics down and have a little fight.
Yeah, fight. Yeah, I do love this film. It's great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I reviewed it a number of years ago, and you know, I had my sort of issues with it. I think the issues are generally common with many people. That I think the plot is a bit thin, and it kind of runs out of its story kind of halfway in. It just becomes this action scene after action scene, which
is supposed to do.
Which are really good, but it doesn't have that breathing space, and as we go along, Spielberg felt that it needed more breathing space. It just kept moving along too quickly, so he threw in matte paintings to sort of extend its runtime. And Spielberg is not a fan of this film. You know, he doesn't.
No, I know, but he's wrong as well. And I'll tell him to his face if I ever get the chance.
Well, they reversed that. Didn't they?
Yeah, it's all reverse photography. But
it would be possible.
him and Lucas weren't in good places.
No.
When they were making this film, personally, and they so I think they associate this with a lot of bad times.
Yeah.
And I think Lucas did feel that he pushed the dark buttons a bit too much. But Lucas is proud of the film, and Harrison Ford, I know, is very proud of it. I think they love how it's so different from Raiders, and that's one of the reasons I love it. Is it really is its own thing, and it's even more of a throwback to the old serial movies. I feel.
Or this one, yeah, especially.
Yeah.
I was supposed to look into what, because it takes a lot from this movie from, I believe, the 30s or late 30s, and there's a lot of sort of similarities with this sort of the Yagi. What was it called? The the people underground. Is it the Yagi or Thuggy?
Thuggy guards.
Yeah. Thuggy, yeah. So sort of similarities there. But as you were saying, it kind of feels a lot different to Raiders in terms of its setting and its direction for this one, in terms of its story. It feels like a one-off adventure again, and it's like the Bond thing where they jump in, and it's like a one-off thing for Bond, and I like that.
And I like that.
I didn't really stick
and
to
I
that.
miss that. I miss that, and I like that. And but just even on its own merits, I just think the filmmaking that's going on is, you know, it's just, you know, it's Spielberg at the top of his game. You know, I think the reason I love this movie is that it's a real tour de force. It's a tour de force of filmmaking techniques and great script. I think it's hilarious. I think the comedy is amazing. I mean, it's written by Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz, who wrote American Graffiti, and they wrote the greatest Marvel film of all time, Howard the Duck.
Brad's another defender with that movie. Mad fool.
I do defend it.
But the gentleman here, the head of the sort of Japanese crime syndicate, as it were, he's he's been in loads of films. He's in he's in parts of Enter the Dragon. He's more of a featured scene in a deleted scene they put back in for like this anniversary version. But he's also in Bloodsport. He's the guy who trains Van Damme. I mean, he's a familiar face. Kate Capshaw, I think, is brilliant in this film. She's
a lot of people have lots of problems with her.
Oh yeah, she's playing this kind of stuck-up woman who's obsessed with money.
People say that she's one of the main problems with the film. I think it's
I
get the joke. I get the joke.
If you grew up with a sister, well, my sister was a little bit like this. So
I do get the joke of her, and I think that she does it brilliantly.
She's really good at comedy timing.
Yeah, she's got great comedy timing. And you watch the behind the scenes stuff. It's so obvious that her and Spielberg were just crazy about each other.
Well, he didn't marry her till years later.
No, he was still with Amy Irving, I think, at this point.
It's funny because I hadn't seen Kate Capshaw in many other films, and she was in
Space Camp.
She's in Black Rain, but not really well utilised in that by Ridley Scott.
She was in Space Camp after this. A few things here and there. And then she just decided to become Mrs. Spielberg and by all accounts is wonderful. A wonderful wife and mum. But there was, I think in an early draft of Crystal Skulls, Indy makes reference to Ridley Scott and when asked what happened to her, he says, last thing I heard, she married some rich film director. They should have kept that in.
Yeah, should have done.
Okay, I think that this whole scene is so good. It's the way that the antidote is getting kicked around and the diamond is getting kicked around, and it's brilliant. And I actually referenced this quite a lot in a really low budget vampire movie I made. To the point where I have a table upturned being rolled and someone hiding behind it when someone's firing a gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Literally. I mean, it's really naff, but it did the trick.
This chap on the left here, isn't he a Bond?
David Yip, isn't it?
He's in a Bond film.
Yeah, he's in View to a Kill.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. And Brookside, I believe.
Brookside.
Again, it's like, this is a movie, guys. He doesn't notice he's been shot until he sees the blood.
Yeah.
it's like, it's a movie.
Also, when he falls into Indy's arms, it's like,
we
have so many great adventures.
Yeah.
It's like telling his life stories. Like,
don't
forget to tell my mum to, take care of my cat or something. The guys on the opposite end of the table would just be like, boom.
Like, just finish him off.
Finish him off, yeah.
You will soon be joining him.
Massive chicken satay stick.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Here we go. Boom. Okay, this is so good.
It's like Roy Orbison.
This is when he turns around and punches the guy.
That's great, that is, yeah. He belts the woman in the face.
But I believe that a lot of these gags Spielberg threw in at the last minute because he was getting quite uncomfortable with how dark it was getting.
Well, yeah.
So he threw in a lot of gags.
I think this one does have a slightly different tone to the others, doesn't it? I think because of
totally. And I get why people have a problem with this film. Because I think because of that, because they were going dark with it, and then Spielberg tried to counter it with lots of humor and gag, it's stretching the tone a lot. But that's kind of why I like it. I like that. I believe the tone. It's supposed to be that kind of movie where the tone is dark and then hilarious and then dark again, and that's the fun of movies. That's what movies are all about.
Well, because isn't this film sort of what Spielberg had suggested, the new rating system, wasn't it, the PG-13?
Yeah, well, it was this and Gremlins in the same year.
Yeah,
that created the PG-13.
I think there was another movie that did utilize it first before these two came in, but it was Spielberg's idea to sort of push forward with it.
Yeah,
and the BBFC in the UK cut a minute out to sort of make it a PG.
Well, yeah, we got What version are we watching? Are we going to watch?
This is the uncut version.
Yeah, so we're going to see the chest open up.
And the guy get burnt alive essentially as he gets lowered.
Good.
But it's, because I hadn't seen that for years. Also because I've been so used to the UK cut and being shown on TV, and then you saw this sort of got claymation kind of thing where he puts his hand in his chest. I was like, oh, that's a bit shit. But, it's I can see why they cut it. I mean, it's pretty graphic for kids to watch, Well, that gentleman there with the machine gun, he plays like Jason Scott Lee's father in Dragon and Bruce Lee's Story.
Right.
And he's in.
Okay, this is Vic Armstrong and his wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Because she played him and her played Superman and Lois Lane.
That's right. Yeah.
Helicopter rescue when he just a quick moment when he catches her.
Here we go.
That's Data from the Goonies. Short round. And now isn't he a stunt coordinator?
Yep, he's a second unit director and stunt coordinator, I believe.
Yeah, he's really good in this. He's got good.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Good energy on camera, and he's very charismatic.
The scene where him and I think it was the audition. It was the audition scene. Is the scene where they're playing cards.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. They're both brilliant. They got so much good chemistry.
Yeah.
Him and Harrison Ford. Come on!
It's so weird.
How can people have a problem with this movie? It's so good.
It's so weird. He just reaches in to grab it. She's like, "Oh, I'm not that kind of girl." She's like,
"Doctor, no time for love. We got company."
It's.
He's going, "Oh, I hope you choke." Drink. This is all South China, but Macau in South China, I believe.
It's But it's so weird though, the idea for Dr. Jones, who's a popular lecturer and a very respected, hanging out with a little kid who's like his driver and stuff. He's relying on him to sort of be there at the right time,
putting him in so much danger.
He's such a just doesn't give a shit, does he?
Exactly.
It's
great. Come on, it's the movies, guys. It's the movies.
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is what I think. When you get the tone right of a film, you can do what you like, because it is just fun movie making.
He's he's great as Data in the Goonies. When he
the way he always talks to him, he talks about himself in the third person.
Oh,
Data.
That's like when he gets the boxing glove in his own face. And the great moment at the end, actually, of the Goonies is when the father says to his son, "You're my greatest invention."
Yeah,
that is.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Wonderful moment.
Dan Aykroyd.
That is full of live poultry. Yeah.
And one of my favourite gags of all time coming up here, where he laughs, goes, "Nice try, Lao Shay." Shuts the door and it says Lao Shay Air Freight.
Do you think
it's so good.
Do you think they've put obviously Dan Aykroyd cameo as part of the 1941 thing? Maybe because he was in 1941.
Yeah. I think they just
having
this. Yeah, well, this I think this was shot in San Francisco. This bit, so. Right. So he was obviously around.
Morticia eyes. The lighting on the eyes.
Yep. Here we go. Come on. That's
really good.
That's a genius gag. He does his wave at the pilot. It's like, yeah, I know what to do. Yes, we're going to sacrifice this whole plane just to kill Indiana Jones. Of course,
they do decide to jump out like quite a ways away from where those guys have got to get back home as well. I think
exactly. There's no logic to it at all. But
they actually get to the destination and it's like, oh shit, we're supposed to jump out.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, never mind.
He's so cool. And that's why I sleep with hats like that.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah. The opticals isn't too bad actually. That's pretty good there. So you always need the map. Don't have the map in Indiana Jones film. It's not an Indiana Jones film.
Not Indiana Jones film if you don't have lines drawing themselves on maps.
Exactly. It's like a thermometer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting really hot. High blood pressure there. God, I could never sleep like that. I just took me forever to fall asleep. I'll be a good watch guard. You've got no mattress or pillow. I ain't sleeping. Basically,
I'd be out.
You'd be out like a light.
Yeah,
I'll get.
It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage.
You'd hear that.
Yeah.
Checker's going off.
Oh yeah, all these animals are going to die. By the way.
Yeah, yeah. I hope it says at the end, like no animals, no chickens were harmed during the making of Temple of Doom.
Chickens were fried in this film.
Yeah. With sweet and sour. They call her doll as well, yeah. Oh, good.
The way he says, no, do you?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yes, because I was talking to Brad, because Brad had sort of reminded me yesterday about Harrison had hurt his back doing a making of this, which we'll discuss a bit later. But I think when they do land and they go to see the village and he's questioning the people about the missing children, and Harrison looks his best in this film. I think.
Yeah, he looks great in this film. He looks really buff.
Yeah. He just looks. It just kind of does look slimmer, but I think he's much more toned. I think actually maybe. Because he looks a bit older in Jedi, but I think maybe because they grayed up his hair a bit and make Han Solo look older. But I think he just looked in better shape come Temple of Doom a year later. So he's saying that with Harrison's injury later on, which we'll discuss, but also Spielberg and Lucas being depressed, it's this kind of weird production where everyone's just like, "Ugh, we need to make this," and I'm not in the mood, you know.
Come on, look. See, it's slowing down now with the.
Another sort of like the ropey blue screen stuff, and they're sliding down the mountain. It's just so.
Yeah.
Look at
that wobbly mat. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Come on, it's won an Oscar, people.
Well, we know it deserved the Oscar. We'll talk about that later.
I know. I'm still bitter about Ghostbusters not winning. You know, I did bloody make the fucking thing. Oh yeah. Look at a giant slipper. There's a moment here because you see like Kate Capshaw's hair is completely soaked, and then next shot later it's completely frizzed up normal again. It's like continuity. I love this bit. I hate you.
Yeah, and I hate you.
So that hair's all frizzed up. Because he was saying in the Raiders commentary where, you know, Spielberg liked to scare his sisters, and it's very much does the same thing again, where he's just constantly torturing her.
Yeah.
You know, with like bugs and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She gets tortured. Everyone says, you know, she's annoying, she screams a lot, but she's got good reason to scream a lot in this movie.
Yeah. I think probably most people that complain about her scream probably would scream in that scenario.
Yeah.
Us grown men be screaming about bugs all over us. Get them off me.
This is great. I love the reveal of this guy. The way it jibs down.
This gentleman had to. I recall. I think he didn't speak English. He had to learn his lines phonetically. And and when you see him talk to Indy,
Spielberg is actually saying the lines to him, and he's just repeating them.
And then he rubs his hand over his eyes, whatever. He's copying what Spielberg's saying.
Yeah.
More forehead now than man.
This is a wonderful shot, though.
It's great, isn't it?
Look at the light here.
Yeah, you can tell it's fucking hot as well. It's like that sort of.
This is all Sri Lanka.
It's a dry heat, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't shoot in India; they shot in Sri Lanka. Because Robert Watts just got pissed off with the Indian authorities.
Yeah, they weren't happy with the script.
Yeah,
like I'm sure they changed. They got some permission, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they had permission, but they kept telling them to change bits. Yeah, and the thing is, they just kept coming and coming and coming. So in the end, it was like, oh, sod this, we can't do this.
Yeah. Well, all I've got is a Kit Kat. There you go. Yeah, I remember that image there being quite an iconic shot where Andy's just getting his hands all over
these hands coming at him.
This actually, I remember as a kid, this film and Star Trek 2 were films that kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Right.
The dark nature of Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
And these moments where, the rituals and sacrifices. It was, for a kid, I was 6 maybe, and I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty scary." But it was never just that level of scariness that compels you to change the channel. You keep watching it, and that's what intrigues kids about horror and
they love it.
The scary stuff. It's like Dark Crystal. You'd be scared by it, but you wouldn't turn it off.
You love being scared as a kid. Love it. Well, I did. I turned out all right, I think. Okay, this is a line me and my mate quote all the time when we're doing something that's pissing each other off. Go, you're insulting them and you're embarrassing me. So this is the guy that's just phonetically repeating the lines back that Steven Spielberg's saying to him.
He's also, again, like Raiders, Spielberg is making great use of the lens and the framing where you can't imagine it being shot differently.
No.
Imagine just seeing this as a kid on TV. Like half these characters would have been cut off.
Yeah.
Like Kate Capshaw wouldn't have been in frame. You know.
Oh, back in when the day that widescreen videos started coming out, it was
godsend.
It was like a revelation. You saw all your favorite movies. You saw them in a whole new light.
Yeah, and it's for people that just enjoyed movies but couldn't afford it. Now, if you could afford it, you would have had Laserdisc, but to see these in widescreen, but it cost a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange period where especially where you had to convince other people that they were actually seeing more of the picture. People were like, "What? They're cutting off the top and bottom of the picture." You're like, "No, that's not how it works."
Zooming in on it.
I like the way this is all the mythology, that he says it was Shiva that made you fall from sky.
Yeah.
And you're like, Maybe it was. You know,
because he'd well, it's the bit of influence on the guys that crashed the plane, whatever, or how the blow up. What was it?
The raft.
The raft, sent them there.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And you're like, well, if that's what's
to
at play
them,
here.
it's a sign, isn't it? To Indy and the others, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Indy can't help himself; he has to help others, doesn't he? And he's and he already knows what it is.
Yeah, he knows the rock. He's heard of it. But the thing is, it's kind of really
because there's 5 stones, isn't there? But he managed to collect 3. But that's power. So to have full power, they've got to have 5.
Yeah.
But the power they have at the moment with the 3, what does that power give them?
I don't know.
Yeah, possession maybe.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. They can possess people, whatever to do.
Well, I always figured that.
It's never explained.
Yeah, I always figured that there was no power until 5 were together. And I thought, for me, I thought the possession, the blood of Cully that he drinks is just something they could do anyway.
See, Harrison Ford is his best here.
Yeah, he looked
really good.
And it's funny because it's only when he says that they stole all the children that he probably is when he decides to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, because he spent probably the last few months with Short Round.
Yeah.
And he knows that.
Look at that shot.
Cares about children.
Such a great shot.
This is an iconic shot. I remember this shot being used in the trailer for Indy 4. It sort of had a few clips on each.
Right.
From Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade to sort of set you up for the 4th one. Look at that. It's just the perfect time of night.
Yeah.
Time of day, sorry, to sort of get that shot. It's like Indy's like holidays from work. He's just put time off. Is it days in lieu?
Yeah,
he's got. Has he got bolted on his time off with to match the weekends? So he gets extra days. I don't know.
Yeah, who's the poor substitute teacher that's covering for him right now? See, that's a movie I want to make a movie about the substitute teacher that's teaching while this is all going on.
But I think they do a little play on that where he's always kind of not around because he has all these papers to mark.
Yeah,
he just goes, he just crawls out the window.
Yeah. And then he's like, now he knows that the Shankara stones. Look at that! Look at that map painting.
And I've added little smoke.
Yeah, and you see the shooting star in a minute as well. Spielberg's shooting star.
So when you first saw this,
he goes a shooting star
at the where is it? There we go.
Yeah.
When you first saw us at the cinema,
yeah.
Well, was it the hype for it? Was it just unreal?
Yeah, huge.
Was it like a Star Wars kind of thing?
Yeah, Everyone was. It was the big deal.
But so it's probably hard to remember back now. But the following day, putting the playground or whatever was. Yeah. Did everyone love this film? Or did they?
Yeah. My mates. We thought this was the greatest thing we'd ever seen.
Oh right, okay. It wasn't like it's not as good as Raiders.
Yeah, no. We all preferred it to Raiders at the time as a kid.
Because
it was just relentless. It just never stopped, and it was just so much fun. Critically, obviously, no, it wasn't well liked.
I think Roger Ebert quite liked it. Actually.
Yeah,
I think he gave it a score.
I think a few people did, but a lot of people. I think some people found, like you say, that the fact that it just turns into a pure roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
they had issues with that. Some people had issues with the tone, but it was genuine. I think no one watches this and goes, well, these people have no talent. Obviously, I mean, you watch this and it's
extremely well made.
It's a brilliantly made film. There's no doubt about it.
Sort of their grumpiness.
Yeah,
at the time,
but I would really that score. Look at that shot and the music. It's the score is so good. I would maintain that if Raiders hadn't existed, this film would be adored. I think it's comparing it to Raiders is just not fair because Raiders is the greatest film ever made. So that that's just not fair.
I love that she smells the elephant.
Yeah.
Oh, you stink. Put some perfume
pipe down. This is expensive stuff. He looks. Even Harrison Ford looks cool, even riding a bloody elephant.
I know. Vampire bats.
Fruit bats, I believe.
Yeah. But it's the shot later on, which it's kind of like they're shooting from like lower down, and you see all these bats going from right to left. It's incredible. You've never seen so many bats.
Yeah. And that's on a matte painting as well, isn't it?
Oh no, there's a matte painting later on when they go to the temple and you see all the bats going whiz over. But
oh yeah, no, I know the shot you mean. Yeah, yep.
She's so fed up now.
Yeah.
Very funny.
I don't know why they all just sit and let her have a little tantrum.
Mm-hmm. It would have been good to bring back Short Round for like number 4, really, instead of having his kid or whatever. I love the elephant trying to.
This is great. This is a great gag. This is a great gag, and it ends with a snake.
It's a snake, yeah. Indy's completely terrified again.
This is great. So this is
the sort of the audition scene.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. This is all on stage at Elstree.
I mean, is it Douglas?
Dougie Slocum, yeah.
Douglas Slocum, yeah. I mean, he amazing job of actually making the set look real.
I think his lighting in this is superb.
Yeah,
especially when they get into all the occult stuff.
Yeah. Well, the lava, coming up and the smoke. The noise. She can always scream for that long.
Just watch Short Round's face when he pulls the card out of his sleeve.
Yeah, that guilty look.
Yeah,
he's cheeky.
Yeah. I'm very little. You cheat very big. And then when they look, it's so cool when they start. When he just slips into his own tongue.
He does look a little like a very young Bruce Lee. You can see Bruce Lee as a kid in his little movies he did. And stuff. That kind of made him jump.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing here where she reveals her father was a magician who's who's never found any success.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
that's my professional.
Yeah.
Gives him flicks of a coin.
Go on, it's so cool,
so good, isn't it?
So cool.
See, Harrison is cool without any effort.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's the trick. That's why he is Harrison Ford, and there's no one like him.
You say grandfather or father?
Yeah, grandfather.
Grandfather, yeah.
This is the one moment where you see his fear of snakes in this film.
Yeah. That's another amazing shot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it. Has that been altered at all?
No.
Optically? No. Okay.
Bloody music, come on. Williams knocks it out of the park again for this film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the parade of the slave children is
that's the
amazing new fantastic.
Thing. Yeah.
That matte painting.
See this shot coming up here.
Yeah.
We just see just hundreds of them.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, I know the one. It's the one after he's discovered this thing here with the fingers. And actually, this is
kind of a warning, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is actually the moment where he kind of takes this seriously.
Yes.
And he's actually cause he tells them not to come up here.
This reminds me of a bit of a Live and Let Jack.
Yeah. It's all very voodoo.
Oh yeah, God, the little kid with the voodoo doll of Indy.
Yep.
It's quite funny. It's quite attention to detail. They even give him a hat.
Yeah, they popped that up nice
Got
and
the
quick.
accessory. It's got a new hat.
Yeah, fingers.
Nice. She's like a big toe. Is it you an ear necklace like Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier?
Yeah.
I'm all ears. I don't think they've optically added those.
No, not at all.
Bats.
No, they're really there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a matte painting.
This is a great map.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah. And all the bats flying out from it.
It's also quite ominous, you know, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of a scary. It's a bad guy's lair.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's great. It holds on it for ages as well. You get a good look at it.
Do you think this would have been part of Elstree? This segment here? I think.
I would think it probably was, unless it was.
This chap was he was in Dickie Attenborough's Gandhi.
Yes.
Gandhi, whatever. And he plays Dhalsim in Street Fighter the movie. Of all things. And did you think it was sort of everyone maybe slightly not intentionally offensive? Was the food they are served and sort of was implying that's what people in India eat?
Well,
I don't. Well,
I mean, is it?
I don't
No,
think
it's implying what the bad guys in India eat. You know, you know what I mean? It's not.
It's funny though when she gets the soup and she's all the eyeballs. She just goes.
Yeah. Just whimpers.
Whimpers, yeah. I love it. Ooh, snake. It's like, eels come out, live eels. Who would eat that?
What's the surprise?
And then like the English general, whatever, just trying to get rid of it off the table. It just carries on normally. Obviously, the gentleman from The Shining.
Philip Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's as O'Grady in The Shining. He's so good.
Chopped up your family.
I corrected them. And when my wife tried to stop me from doing my duty, I corrected her too. Oh, it's so good. Philip Stone. And he's in Clockwork Orange as well. He's the dad. And he's brilliant in that.
That dress is a bit gaudy, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit much. He doesn't look a librarian, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And where did you get that suit from? You have it sort of stored, you know. It was a moment earlier because he had that matte painting where Short Round's looking out the window and he's like, "Where's my razor?"
Sorry, where's my razor? Yeah, it's like probably still on the plane that blew up.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why he's kind of not hasn't shaven properly, is he?
Yeah.
Look at those giant Christmas crackers. As
This is a great shot. He's tracking in all over the table, and then the Maharaja comes walking in right up to the camera.
You think it would have been a bit more centered, straight down the table? You know, slightly to the right a little bit.
Could have been, but you know, who cares when this happens?
I do. Now it's kind of centered there. Brad would be like, "You got any naan bread?" You would be gagging for chips after they've served all this food. You had nothing to eat. Okay, you got any chips? Come on.
To be honest, I
feel like one of the
food in
dwarfs
India
and Hobbit. You know,
the food in India, for the record, is frigging lovely. I love eating in India. It's beautiful food. Okay, there's a fantastic gag coming up here that so many people miss, where the Prime Minister's getting a bit insulted, and he says, were you not threatened to have your hands cut off? Goes no. And he goes, oh, what was it? And he goes, it was. And he looks down at his dick. He goes, it was my misunderstanding.
yeah.
It's great. Oh.
This bit always freaked me out as a kid when you got the monkey brains, you know. He's very good at the stiff upper lip.
Yeah, it's great
guy, isn't he? And these bugs are like got peanut butter in them. I think it probably is actually for the actors to sort of eat.
Oh yeah. Well, I know the chilled monkey brains is just jelly and ice cream. But, yeah, exactly. But I guess some people were finding this a bit pro British Empire.
Yeah.
You know, but I just think you're going to watch a movie like this and start reading politics into it. Really? Do you have to? Do you really have to?
Good bird.
There's a naivety to it, which I think is in keeping with the old serials that it's mimicking. Well, he's just staring him out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows that is it the Prime Minister of
Yep.
Yeah, he knows he's lying. Yeah. This is great.
Yeah.
I love this
It's
bit.
Shorty with the spoon.
Let's take the eyeballs out. It's so
Right.
good.
Yeah, this is the bit coming up.
Yeah. Bailey's penis, isn't it?
Yeah, they had to cut his dick off.
He slept with his woman or something.
Yeah.
I also think it's the emperor here. I thought it was
The Maharaja.
I thought it was a girl, but it's got but it's a boy.
It's a boy,
but
yeah.
it's got a very feminine voice. Maybe it's been dubbed over by a girl. Maybe.
Don't think so. What's this? But this is. He sees it. He sees the nod, the look between them. It's just.
I love how like.
I mean,
Indies
I'm guessing also the point of all that. I mean, the gags are one thing, but it's the opulence and compared to the village that they've just come from,
Yes.
where they had that measly little bit of food, and it's the opulence compared to that is, I guess the point.
And how the doors don't properly close. You can tell it's like set because it's like been spray painted silver. I love how he's found some normal food. He's found some fruit for her. And he like takes a bite.
Yeah.
He hears it. She's like I swear her character's like bipolar or something. She flip flops all the time. She's suddenly like really pissed off and angry, and then suddenly she's really like all over him.
Yeah.
She's must be a nightmare. It's a major head fuck. Make your mind up, woman.
I'm not saying I've ever come across women like that, but
I love that shot there. It's very like the Star Trek sort of short of hazy.
Yeah, the
kind
hazy.
Nocturnal activities, isn't it? It's great, isn't it?
Meeting customs.
This is a great moment, isn't it? Because it's the sort of the classic romance thing they've done before, like in other classic comedy romance movies. Like Clark Gable or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And Cary Grant.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, perfect example. Where they're sort of opposite rooms and they're just sort of like getting frustrated, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's great. The intercutting.
See, that's where as I said at the beginning, the story. It's where it kind of runs out of plot really kind of later on, where it's kind of front-ended, it's all shoved at the front, like a lot of the story is, and a lot of the sort of building up these characters.
And then it just becomes an escape chase movie.
Yeah. I just kind of felt it needed a bit more breathing time. Things are slowed down a little bit. But it is kind of inherently nitpicking, I think, because it's still an entertaining film. But it's up against Raiders.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was telling you, people would have given this much more of a shake. They would have said this was a great homage to old-fashioned movies.
That music there, it's kind of like the bit where he's getting chased in Raiders by the guys with bow and arrows.
Yeah,
plucking of the
pizzicato strings.
Yeah.
So this coming up is the sequence where he broke his back.
Was it actually the same shot like that's left in the film where he actually hurts his back?
I'm guessing the shot, or at least a part of that shot, is in it.
It's also in a weird way because in the background you've got Short Round there. I don't think he would allow her to come into his room and then have sex with Short Round's in the background.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be give too much of a shit about Short Round.
Yeah. I think I want more to eat than just an apple or something. I'd be like, oh God, I need some carbs. I need something more meat. I need some bread or something.
Mm.
This is the moment I love.
Yeah.
He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
I'm conceited.
Yeah. It's great. It's brilliant.
I know it's quite clever this moment. This transition was a guy in the background, sort of disguised in the painting.
Yeah, it comes out of the paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
he is.
Very clever. So here we go. So when he flips the guy over,
I think it's when they flip. Yeah. This bit there, that I think it. Yeah, I think it's in that move. Whether it's whether it's actually that shot or not, I don't know. But
his back must have been buggered up a little bit beforehand. That's what's caused it to sort of pretty rupture. He must have had back issues in the
great.
past.
I just love that. Where she's having a go at him. He's just she's his shadow. Harrison Ford does not give a shit about pulling faces.
So this is all stuff shot. What say? So how many months later? You think? Yeah, because
he was out for a couple of months.
So yeah, he damaged his back. So he had to go back to USA to have an operation. That was one of these kind of new technology.
Yeah, so he had to go. They flew him back to the States, and it was a very new technique that you could only get done out there, and they didn't know if it was going to work. He could have been buggered for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
because it was a serious damage that he did, and so I mean, they were shooting the Club Obi-Wan stuff when because there's footage of Spielberg having got a telegram from I think either Lucas or Harrison Ford or someone speaking for him, and he's reading it out to the crew, that he's having the operation and all that stuff. So basically for a good couple of months at least they were just shooting whatever they could without Harrison Ford, which is why the fight with Pat Roach on the conveyor belt is sort of 98% Vic Armstrong. Hey, I'm right here. So they nearly shut down. They nearly shut down the whole production.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you've got a film that very much has most scenes has Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the villain they don't really at all cut to the villains for them coming up with their scheme to take over the world, whatever. It's always just like
no, not at all. You are.
It's always through Indy's perspective. It's always through his eyes.
He's in every scene, really. Probably just with the exception of when Short Round's escaping from his thing. So they probably shot a lot of that, and a lot of stuff they could with Vic Armstrong doubling. So we're coming up to one of my favourite sequences, which is the spike chamber. I just think it's brilliant and hilarious.
It's like, don't touch anything.
Yeah,
they look like orcs.
Yeah.
Yes, do as you're told, child.
Like this when she tries to push it, and then she goes, "I've got to push her breasts." Okay, that's great. That's really good. The way she does that. And here we go. Bugs. Oh, this is gross. This grosses me out more than the snakes.
Yeah, definitely. They're like massive stick insects, aren't they?
Yeah.
And like locusts and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! How big it is!
It's the one. It's that giant millipede that goes in and like goes in her hair. That it's like disappearing into her hair. You're like,
these things
where's it going?
They look like leaves, don't they? Their skin does. It's camouflage,
Yeah.
So it's. I think that some actually are poisonous. Though it's quite dangerous. Those things are.
Oops. It's great, and he just tells him to stand against the wall.
God. Because every Indiana Jones film's got to have a trap like this, haven't they? Because that's what it's always all about.
It's bloody brilliant. This is.
She just doesn't want to get dirty. That's great, isn't it? He has a clever idea though, sort of getting that skull and just shoving it in the contraption.
That's exactly what I would say. I'm sorry. Oh God, what is this? She was high on stuff doing this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The only way she could do it was to just take a load of freaking pills and get herself into a state.
Yeah, you'd have to. I'd have to have a few shots of alcohol.
Yeah. Like nothing illegal. Just sleeping pills and stuff, just to make her go a bit woozy. This is where it gets brilliant. It's just the hand coming out the hole.
This always makes you jump.
Yeah,
every time.
It's the music.
Oh.
Your other right. It's the fist. It's the fist that comes out now. Do it now.
Oh, that.
That.
Oh.
Look at.
I think they may have left it on a bit too long.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. A fraction
of a second.
Look that freaking centipede thing going in.
That's fake. That's a fake body though, because the body's just shifting left and right.
Yeah.
No way in hell she would let him do that. That's great because it goes straight through his hand.
Yeah.
So annoyed.
That's great review.
Her
No.
ass just like triggered it.
Okay, here we go. This is one of the best close calls ever.
It really is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh! And the thing is that would have just cracked his arm.
Man.
It's not even a. I love the way that's making a face.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's really good, like shot. I mean, the
Yeah.
opticals. Oh,
Yeah.
a bit pants. They're like
Yeah,
black and white.
Yeah, the lighting doesn't match at all.
Not at all. No.
Okay, this stuff is beautifully shot and lit. Look at that. His molar arm. This is, one of the. This is kind of the main villain, and he only just comes into it now.
Literally an hour into it.
A little shrunken head on the front. Om Nam Shibai. The Om Nam Shibai guy. What he's called him.
He's going bye-bye. It's interesting that because now the rest of the movie is going to take place in this kind of underground sort of temple, as it were.
Yeah.
This sacrificial chamber. Because with Raiders and Last Crusade, you have a lot of jumping around different places.
Yeah.
Creating a lot of variety, where this one kind of just has this. Maybe the first 40 minutes is kind of like you've got, two locations really.
Kind of globetrots in the first 20 minutes of the film, and then it's all here.
I think it certainly lacks some of the sort of variety. I suppose it's not hugely problematic, but I think it's a shame it's kind of becomes very much more set bound. But it all looks gorgeous and stuff. But I suppose
that's but to me it's what makes it different.
Yeah.
Oop.
I suppose that's some of the people said, didn't they, when Crusade came out? Saying it felt too much like Raiders.
Sorry,
it felt too much like Raiders, where it kind of treads over familiar ground.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, Last Crusade.
Oh, Last Crusade, yeah.
Feeling like Raiders.
Well, which was deliberate again. They wanted to go back to that because they wanted, because the reaction to this was so not bad. I mean, people didn't hate this film. I mean, you can't hate this film. It's just too entertaining. But people were disappointed, I guess, and so with Last Crusade, I think that's what Spielberg really wanted to do, is get it back to the original Raiders kind of formula.
I was able to sort of just had the heart scene. He's still alive. He's got no heart. What's going on?
I know, you could know. Yeah, exactly. It's black magic. It's really disturbing.
Well, this when he sort of burns alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this was all cut out in the English version.
Because it always it cuts. It cuts to like the reactions, but you don't really see him catch fire. I don't think. I think it's kind of heavily trimmed. And not the heart bits as well, they see that.
Yeah. It's really, really, really dark. It's horrendous. It's horrible. But it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be scary. You know, it's these things are supposed to be scary and horrific and fun and great. You know,
It's always been like, I think probably after Temple of Doom, they probably thought where to go with Indiana Jones now, because having this kind of the darker direction, but also being different, being its own thing, and it not getting the reaction they wanted, sort of made them cautious, didn't it? Really, to sort of try that again.
yeah.
And it goes over similar territory.
Yeah, but I think, but also I think. I mean, the reason why I rate this above Last Crusade is because it is it is its own unique thing, and Last Crusade is wonderful, but it's if you took Sean Connery out of it, it would be, I think, a tired rehash with an amazing tank sequence in the middle of it, which is freaking awesome. But it's, for me, Last Crusade works brilliantly, but it's kind of one element that is making it work, and that's the banter between Ford and Connery.
Yes. I know that moment there where he sort of said like the diamonds make it light up. She's like,
Diamonds.
You know, it's just drawn to money. She is, isn't she?
So he goes to get the stones, and while he's there, he hears
All these voices, isn't he?
he hears the kids, and he can't leave them.
Oh, bit of a wobbly set. Now, was this the most successful film of '84? I can't remember. I don't think it. I'd like to think it was.
I don't think so.
Maybe it might be Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop, I think, was.
Yeah.
And
It made like 400 million.
And maybe was Ghostbusters more successful?
I think it was like. I think that was like 350 maybe. I know.
Gremlins.
I think now. Maybe Beverly Hills Cop came '83. I know. Ghostbusters was my successful comedy.
Yeah.
And Beverly Hills Cop was a comedy as well.
Yeah.
That's all right. My memory.
Beverly Hills Cop is 84.
84, yeah.
Sure, it's 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. You just hear these sounds, and the parade of the slave children themes just coming in slowly.
It's like Skin. That's
Yeah.
Skin. That is.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's
Yep.
pretty dark. Oh.
Yeah. Now that scared the crap out of everyone.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember my sister screaming her ass off. This is a great set.
Oh, it's brilliant because as you were saying, this sort of roller coaster ride mentality. Because obviously, it literally has one.
Yeah,
of
it
them.
literally has a roller
Yeah,
coaster.
when he's like, that's the bit where when they're escaping and he's hanging on, he jumps into the minecart.
Yeah.
That's pure something you see out of a live attraction.
Yeah.
Show,
Yeah. It is a fairground ride. Yeah. Yep. Right. There he is, old Pat Roach.
Paint it up. No, I say you won't do that anymore.
Oop.
They got this weird. Oh my god! The weapon they had there is this weird knife. It looks like the same knife thing that came with Ninja Turtles. It all had these weird, like, random weapons, and it's like, just like that. Very strange.
This is totally something out of an old serial, 30s serial. Mines.
That means Shiva's not real. You would have lost your face by then, wouldn't you?
Shiva obviously doesn't give a monkeys about you, mate.
Man, this is a good moment here, but it's also a very dark
Yep.
sequence where we have like short round getting whipped.
Yeah. It's all very dark now. So this is all. But you're in hell.
Yeah.
You're in the belly of the beast here. You're in hell. It's got to be dark. Look at the light in here. Look at the way it's lit. I love it. It's brilliant.
I don't think it's actually implied how much power they actually had when they had the 5 stones, and what would that power entail? What would you, if they had, because it's he was saying that they did have them, then they, as I presume the British had sort of come over and taken them all out, and they buried the last remaining 2 stones into the catacombs. So it's kind of, I suppose it was ambiguity of it all, wasn't it?
Yeah,
kind of hints that they had power once
you don't.
it was taken away.
Basically, the bad guys, they're doing all this bad stuff. They'll become much more powerful when they get these 5 stones. Sorry, but it's enough to know that they've got a whole slave children down here, and that they need to be stopped.
I suppose it's MacGuffin, isn't it? The stones,
it's total MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should bring out a movie called MacGuffin. It's just it's all set up with no explanation.
Yep. I did a little interactive film for kids years ago, and it was called Operation MacGuffin.
Oh, amazing. See, look, So he's got the hat on, but he's not wearing a hat.
Yeah, he's
So
never.
he's not- well,
They've never seen him in the hat.
That is, yeah.
Oh no, they have. They've because they caught him. He did have the hat when they caught him.
They caught him in the outfit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad, stop ruining it.
Yeah, sorry. No, see.
That's like a 12-inch like Hot Toys NECA doll, isn't it? It was expensive.
This is pretty harsh. Ugh. See, this was all really cut down in the English version.
Just when you got whipped once.
Yeah, I think got whipped twice. You know, you never saw Short Round getting whipped.
Right.
So that was all cut down.
So when we had to import like the US videotape.
Mm.
Oh, you can see the uncut version. Look. Maybe cause, I think it was only till the DVD came out. I think it was the uncut version. Maybe the Blu-ray.
Oh no, the DVD still was cut.
Yeah.
The DVD I had was cut.
So it's just the Blu-rays then, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Blu-rays are, 12.
Yeah.
This is it's a good scene for Harrison. Cause it shows he's just fighting back.
Brilliant.
And it's like he's getting possessed now. It's like his other body's taking over, and he's like,
and it's really dark.
Yeah,
and it's really disturbing. Yeah. And then he just comes into the light and starts
it's lit
laughing.
below to make it look evil, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look at that! Come on.
Oh, his nostrils fled.
That's great.
It's great, Matt. That is. These kids aren't really putting the effort in, are they? Look, they're just like tapping stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no wonder they're getting whipped.
Dig up, stupid. Yeah. I think they're just tapping it like that. No wonder it's taken them forever.
Yeah. It's like, come on,
you
guys.
don't get kids to do this because they've got no strength.
Oh, now you're putting in the effort.
Yeah.
There he is, showing off his buff physique.
His 8-minute abs. Yeah, because the only way you can get out of this is being possessed, isn't it? By being burnt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of wake him up out of his slumber, as it were.
Well, I do believe there was I don't know if it was a cut scene, but I remember reading it not in the novelization, but in the big photograph books that go through the story of the movie.
Yeah.
That in that of Temple of Doom, there's a scene where Short Round, when he's doing it, he sees some fire falls out. They break through into a bit of the fire, and some of the fire falls on one of the guards, and that's where he sees the fire. Snaps the guard out of being being in on it. So and the guard gets taken away, and so that's how Short Round knows that if you get burnt, it will snap you out of it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I still think he should have ripped her heart out on this, and then. Have to put it back in.
Put it back in.
Make sure we put it in the right way.
Yeah. Yes, it doesn't. They don't decide to. I don't know why. So why they're continuing with the ritual if they're not going to do that? I mean, they've already sacrificed someone. I mean, this god's getting a bit greedy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I know. Yeah, come on. So I guess this is supposed to be just a test to make sure that he's committed to the cause. Look at the red light on him there.
It's always when you got extreme reds like that in films, like on video formats, you get a lot of video noise.
Yeah.
But it's pretty consistent. The picture's solid.
Yep. You can't beat good old celluloid projected on a big screen to handle things like this.
Yeah. That's a great scene with her.
Mm.
Yeah. No! It's like there's like these long wails of screaming.
And she gobs in his face. He just looks at it. It's just wrong. It just feels wrong and weird and dark, which is good. Which is why I like it. This is great.
You know, it's with this one actually. We were talking about in Raiders where Spielberg was doing a lot of one takes, like just long.
Yeah.
You know, sort of when people are having a conversation, it's cameras always following him around. This one, there's a lot more edits in it. There's like more coverage.
Yeah.
Because he obviously has the time and money now.
There's more. Yeah.
I remember the video game of this. Like, there's an arcade game, Temple of Doom. I didn't particularly like it. It's by Atari, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I remember when I had my Commodores, this is just like running around this kind of this like up down ladders and stuff. It was this endless maze. It drove me bonkers. And you get the minecart thing and you go around. It's just I'm not a fan of that.
She's got a great scream. You can't deny that. I love all that stuff.
It's interesting when Indy fights back. I'm always confused if they're cheering in support or they're like just still possessed or something like that in there.
Yeah, that's right. They start. But I don't think they're cheering. They're like yelling, aren't they? Or...
Yeah, I was always kind of a little bit confused if like they're just going along with it because they're imprisoned, in some way.
Okay, here we go. Now, I think that you have to go through all this darkness for this moment when they both turn around and start fighting together. It's such a great moment.
Yeah,
and it's because you've felt this relentless darkness happening, and here we are. We're about to break out of it. We're about to break through and get out of this darkness, and our heroes are going to start kicking ass.
Yeah, you got to still sound like a bad guy. He's mine.
He's mine. Yep. Here we go. There you go. And then suddenly, boom,
that kid can't do any damage to these old men.
That's why he's always going for their balls.
They're all cheering now. So I was always a little bit unsure if they were, in support of Indy fighting back.
I always think that they're having a go, like telling them to get him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I love how he gets the prime minister or whatever. He gets caught in the gear, doesn't he? It's just because they have like short round copying him, like come on, hit him, and then she does it as well later on when he's beating up Pat Roach. Who'd built that trap there? That was sort of escape,
and suddenly he's lying down.
Yeah. Look at that. What do you think? What are they using for that? Is it just sort of to create the lava? Because it's quite like watery, doesn't it? Doesn't seem.
Yeah, it's just liquid. I think it's liquid with colouring and just brightly lit from underneath.
Yeah. Should have done that
It's
yogurt or something.
It's all a model.
Yeah.
Here he comes. This is a great bit of editing, actually. The way this all times. She looks absolutely fucked there. You're like, oh no. She backs down.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And the best thing about this is when he gets her out, and the first thing she does is just whack him.
Yeah, you got this kind of like quite loud, like karate chop, like
she just gives him a massive slap.
It's so good if real punch sound effects actually sounded like that. You'd be punching everyone.
Oh yeah, it's such a cool sound.
Such a great sound. Punch me again. Not so hard next time.
See, the short round theme is so good, but I love it in the end credits where he counter melodies the main Indiana Jones theme with it, and they work together.
I love how with her makeup they made her look like a slapped ass. Just like burnt,
Yeah, here we go. Right, this is I love this shot. This is so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's the great hero.
Yeah, look,
shot.
right, look at that, and then she starts to slowly come into the light. Come on. That's like, go on. See, this is it. See, you had to go through all this darkness because now it's all changing, and now it's all becoming amazingly joyous. The parade of the slave children theme going in a full pelt.
Eat whip.
Yeah, it will get overdone. Here we go, Pat Roach.
It's kind of weird because he's suddenly it's kind of a weird edit because
Boom.
That's really good. But it's like Indy's prepared about to fight him, but he's already kind of got ready to do it.
Yeah,
because we haven't seen him kind of clock him, as it were.
Well, it's it's montage.
Yeah. Ah, the sun.
He's
The kid's not going to do anything, is he? Because he has such a good friendship with Short Round. It is a shame they didn't kind of bring the character back at all.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, he's got the doll again. He should just swap the hats with Pat Roach, whatever, and he's like, and he gets hurt. It's the hat that does it.
It's all about the hat.
The voodoo hat.
There we go. So most of this is Vic Armstrong now.
Yeah.
It's great. He really does get the. He really moves like Harrison Ford.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, he's done.
He's so good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because you can tell when you sort of become aware that it's not Harrison.
Yeah,
because they're
exactly all those shots. Yeah, no, these inserts
like
they did later
from a long
yeah,
shots. You know
but all of this stuff, this is all Vic Armstrong.
Yeah.
And this is great because this really is the moment Short Round saves him again. It's like Short Round has been so, he's there for comic effect. He really is.
Yeah.
Without him, they wouldn't win. Ouch!
Yeah.
Christ, big bloody sword. Not sword, saw. See, fun for the whole family. 2 kids beating the shit out of each other.
He hit him with a boulder.
Yeah.
Like,
Here we go. This is a classic moment.
Yeah.
Boom.
You're silly slapstick, isn't it?
And he. This is really.
He gets his little gory moment. There isn't much blood there. I think there'll be more.
No, you see a bit come around there. That's it.
Yeah. A Short Round should have burnt the kid earlier. This is another great shot when he does gets to whip out.
Yep. Quit fooling around with that kid. I love it when they get to the left tunnel. You see that down the left tunnel is daylight, and they go down the right tunnel. It's all red and it's all red and hell. These were the clips they always used to show on TV when the movie was coming out. Here we go.
This shot here.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he turns up quite late.
Yeah.
Where
So
the hell has he been?
it's like he's been asleep.
Yeah.
I love that shot. The way she comes lunging at the camera like that as it's going away. Come on, guys! This is so much fun. This movie, it's relentless.
I love this bit here. This is where it kind of like a big attraction sort of thing. Show you're watching.
Look at this. Here we go. Quick, get in another monk car and chase them. Here we go. Look. See the left tunnel. Nice daylight. And they're going into the red.
Oh. I'm so annoyed. So he took the wrong turn at the motorway. Oh, God. I go ages to sort of go back.
Right. So here, this is why this film won the Oscar for visual effects.
Yeah.
Deservedly so. All this fucking stop motion animation. Look at it. This is stop motion animation. Guys, look at it.
That bit's not.
Hey?
That bit wasn't then.
No, the close-ups aren't they?
Yeah. It's like when it tilts, though, it's really good. And when it jumps the track,
Yep.
it's the most impressive moment. So this wasn't part of a ride, was it?
There was a ride. There was a ride based on this, or that was similar to this in the LA. In LA, Disney,
Right? Okay.
which I've never been to LA a lot, but I've never actually been in the theme parks there because I've always been there for work. I need to go there and relax one day.
Mm. I'm trying to think how much they built actual real track for the shoot the live action moments.
It was like they built a circle.
Right.
So they could keep going around and around and around.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And look at this. Look at this stop motion. Look at it. Come on. And on the big screen, this was just tremendous. I remember as a kid sitting and watching this going, this is magic. This is filmmaking like I've never seen.
It's like Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
It's a bit with the train track and he's putting it down.
Yeah.
I love when it goes, it flies off the track and spins to the left.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Yep.
Just trying to fire while it's going
it's going up and down, up and down, yeah.
Impossible. Keep still. What? Talking rubbish to me.
This is a good shot. As in, literally a good shot with the gun.
Yeah.
Look, oh,
Yeah, the stop motion stuff's incredible.
it's
isn't
so
it? Yeah.
good.
You just don't think it is, do you?
No.
Look at that.
Look at all this. Look at that. Look at this. I could watch this all day. I could just watch this scene on loop.
This is
I
pretty,
just think it's brilliant.
'Cause I do think this sort of the escape from with all the kids escaping and Indy's fighting Pat Roach. I think that scene is a little bit too long for me. I thought it just kind of dragged out a bit. But this is because you got that moment and you got this moment as well.
Yeah, this is just
It's
brilliant.
not a chase sequence.
Yeah.
I think the other bit could have been trimmed a bit. But this makes up for the other moment, though. I mean, this is just like wow, spectacular.
Look at it! Oh, look! You see Indy's little puppet look up at them, and
I suppose, in all honesty, I think it probably, it should have won the Oscar, not Ghostbusters.
I've won you over, have I?
You have, yeah. Because you have to think the challenge of shooting this was impossible. Well, not impossible. I mean, they did it. But
Yeah.
I mean, the challenge of doing
the challenge of doing this
seems far more
yeah.
difficult than having a marshmallow man.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know?
Yes.
This is just
Yeah.
so complicated.
Yeah. 100%.
And every shot, it's like from a different angle.
Yeah.
You know, it's
This is just a whole film in itself.
Yeah. That's stop motion wires, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But now I have a theory why, obviously, with Crystal Skull, you know, the nuke the fridge moment, why everyone classes that as too ridiculous. Whereas what we just saw is no less ridiculous. That jumping that gap.
I've never really had a problem with the the fridge.
I do, but I've tried to analyze what it is. Why is it that I did have a problem with that? And everyone's going to think I'm a grumpy old man for saying this, but I think it's CGI because it's everything's behaving in an animated way in that. You know, real physics aren't at play. Whereas what we just saw there was, yes, it wasn't real. It was a model, stupid little model, jumping the track on wires. But it's still physical objects behaving and doing stuff. So there's an inherent bit of charm to it, an inherent bit of fun to it, and physics are still at play in what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Whereas CGI is so, even though things can look photorealistic when you analyze it as an image, just something about the behavior just makes you go, that's not real.
Yeah.
And this is what I've come up with anyway.
Well, it's a really good observation.
Yeah.
You know,
because
I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's
this is an amazing matte painting. This is an amazing matte shot coming up here with the movement, the camera movement put in is deliberate, like that, to make it feel like it's on a helicopter.
With some awful blue screen opticals of them. That's when Indy Klein looks like a cardboard cutout.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a shame, really.
But still, doing blue screen like this in bright daylight was still you know, mega difficult.
Yeah,
back in those days.
Yeah, they always, you know, but it's always shooting, you know, with the front projection. Really, I mean, because the Bond people did that, and it was the right thing to do. I think. What's like A View to a Kill? The whole thing on the bridge, it's like with front projection.
It looks great. Yeah. Right, but come on, there's nothing to moan about this sequence.
This is great.
This is flipping amazing.
Wonderful moment, yeah.
And you and you felt the vertigo on this. In the cinema, you were like, oh my God. Spielberg would never go out on this bridge.
Oh, yeah, he was terrified, wasn't he? Yeah.
He would travel an hour around to get to the other side.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Love this bit.
Yep. John Williams references the music. He uses the other guy as a sword. This is a great bit. This is a Harrison Ford. This is a Han Solo moment.
He's like, yeah. That's one of the iconic shots.
Iconic shot.
So many like production stills of this film that they released. This Harrison's like on the bridge. We're just about to cut it.
Yeah,
you know.
I do often wonder how he knew there was a bridge there, though. And he yells out, "Get to the bridge, go!" He's like, "What bridge?"
Yeah. I love the bit where she's like, he tells her he's going to cut it. And she's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She does say, oh my God, a lot.
Yeah.
In this.
Fake lad, yeah.
Yeah. He no nuts. He crazy. I love it. It's great. This is all about bluff calling this scene. He's really fucked. You're like, how the hell are you going to get out of this?
He one way's down and get rolled over by crocodiles. So they're like doing it. Yeah. Those are shots of just rolling over,
rolling around. Again, they keep one-upping. It's brilliant. It's the way this bridge is used for tension. Go for a ride. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Now they're all dummies with motors in them to make the limbs flap.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. And there's stop motion animation guys falling. And that was the shot I was thinking about where Harrison Ford's legs went under the mat. That one looking down, and they had to rotoscope around his legs.
I think they rotoscoped at the beginning when she's doing the dance and she has her hands up and it's got Indiana Jones. Her hands are rotoscoped through the logo.
Yeah, yeah. I always just loved this fight scene.
If the kid didn't say that, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
He just encouraged him to do it.
Yeah. Oh, short round.
I love when Indy gets the bag and the stones, he starts doing the chant, whatever. He's like,
yeah.
What are you saying?
You betrayed Sheba.
Yeah.
You betrayed Sheba. Sheba gay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it? The way he does it.
But and again, divine intervention comes at play.
Yeah.
The
Harper. He's some Rennie.
He chucks his own bloke off to try and knock Indy off.
He's like, hey, what are you doing?
It's like
definitely complained to his union rep about that.
Yeah.
So short round and Willie, whatever, just staying there. Keep climbing.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And the Brits turn up conveniently in a minute.
Yep.
Last minute.
Good old British Army.
I say over there.
Hold your fire. This is great. Oh, come on.
I think you can see the harness wire on that. There you go. It's attached to his kind of waist there.
Nah, I don't care. It's still great. It's still an amazing moment.
Yeah, come on, keep climbing. You give her cake, take us away.
It's great.
Oh, those Easter eggs. Whee! Very ambitious shot.
Yeah, extremely ambitious shot.
Yeah, for the time. It doesn't quite work, does it?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, a bit of a roll.
Yep.
Yeah, that's better.
But again, at the end of the day, the MacGuffin has a point at the end.
It's been MacGuffed.
Yeah. There we go. I love this. This really wobbly hand comes over.
And it's always at the end of each film. I think any Last Crusade, he's not so beaten up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. he just like collapses down.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
It's all green.
Yeah, prosperity has returned to the land before the stone has returned. So they could have been fine without it, really. You know.
Yeah. They just needed to be in a good mood.
He just turned up in the winter. It was all shit.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, no, everything's fine. It's just spring starting in a minute, and we're all gonna be fine.
Oh dear. So, surely the kids had plenty of time to run home.
Yeah, they would have got there before them.
Yeah. Jeff, where are you? You think because she's got all his clothes back again? Did they sort of go back to the temple, get their stuff before they left, or?
Yeah, I guess they must have nipped back to the temple.
Mm.
There we go. But you'll forget about it all for Raiders for the next year. You won't believe in anything again. I mean, he's such an iconic character. Such a, he's an amalgamation of old heroic types from the 30s and the 40s, and Bogart and there's definitely a bit of Cary Grant in there, especially when he's the professor.
Mm.
But only Harrison Ford could have done this. I mean, we've never spoken about the fact that Tom Selleck was cast. He was going to be Indiana Jones, and I like Tom Selleck, I really do, and it would have been, and obviously you wouldn't know any different, but
I think it would have been a totally different film altogether. Yeah. I think it's just very lucky we got Harrison to do it.
Yeah.
Very funny. I always have the end theme here for Temple of Doom. I think the when the credits start rolling.
Yeah.
It just sounds, the indie march just sounds so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
This is how it's, I think, because 84, the sound recording's
better, the recording was a bit better, but also this is where he brings in the short round theme to count the melody right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Because he can't use the love theme because it's not, that's for Marion, isn't it? So.
No.
They can't use the love theme in this, can he? Because the Raiders March, the theme, the Indiana Jones, goes into the love theme.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, this goes into all the other themes, but it's just the short round theme comes back again, but it's just the way he just uses it to counter melody, the main theme. It's great. There you go. Parade of the Slave Children, one of my favourite tracks. But yeah, so I love it. I love
twice
it
now in the space of 2 days.
Yes.
I mean, it's when I think for me, when I say it's weaker than Crusade and Raiders, doesn't mean it's a bad film at all.
No,
it's just for me, it's I think the story's interesting, but it's a bit too thin for the sort of really the third act. Really, in the middle act, it kind of begins to run out of plot. Really, but as you say, yeah, the minecart chase and the sort of battle on the bridge kind of makes up for the sort of the lack of kind of story and but when you're comparing it to the others, I mean, it's production quality wise and the performances are brilliant in this, and I have no problem with Kate Capshaw. I think she's great as Willie. Very funny. I mean, it's probably got the most. Actually, I laughed just as much as this as I did with Crusade.
Yeah.
You know, the banter between him and his father.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the humour in this is brilliant. I think it really makes me laugh. Still does. Which is why, you know, when everyone says it's too dark, I'm like, but it's also really funny. You know. I
think, as you say, mentioned, I think very early on, I think it was sort of the tone is slightly
it's stretched.
Off.
It is stretched.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't mind that. To me, that's the point. For me, it's that kind of movie where it's supposed to be stretching the tone. It's supposed to be 1 minute scary as hell and the next minute hilarious. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you do it with aplomb, if you do it the way these guys do it, and again, like Raiders, it's the spirit and the love of filmmaking that wins through, that makes these movies work.
I think, as you said, nicely put it in the beginning, is very much a roller coaster, sort of ride of a movie, and they really pushed that for this one, and it's very, you know, it's even have stuff that kind of basically mimics that. So as a sort of adventure movie that kind of's got the thrills and rides and excitement and horror, and it's all there.
It's a total adventure movie.
It's just you know, I think on repeated viewing you can kind of see some of the flaws there that kind of inherently. Down to Spielberg and Lucas being, in not the best frame of mind.
Funny moods at the time.
Funny moods, both going through kind of breakups, relationships and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
and Spielberg was still, I think, reeling from the whole Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that happened. So, so there's a lot of shit going on when they were filming this.
And Harrison Ford hurting his back. You got delays and shooting. So, but they managed to bring it all together, and they produced a film that was very, very successful. And I've got friends who love this movie, but also some are just aren't fussed about it. They just kind of skip it a lot of the time. Because because we're saying it doesn't have that sort of continuity thing. It's a one-off thing. We don't inherently have to sort of watch it as part of a series. But it's if it's on TV, I'm more than happy to watch it.
I'm always going to watch it.
And if it's in Panascan, I'm not watching it then.
No,
wasting my time.
It looks as beautiful as all Spielberg movies did back in those days, and it's just something about the lighting of the cult stuff that just does it for me. That darkness is I don't know. It just feels visceral and wonderful, and so I loved it. When I saw it as a kid, I thought it was the best thing ever to happen, ever. And then, and obviously I know that Raiders is a better film, but I just love, for warts and all, I just love this movie and find it great fun.
Well, there you go, folks. There's Brad's final views on the Temple of Doom. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Me and Brad will be back with The Last Crusade.
Yes.
Maybe
Junior.
Junior! In the coming weeks or months, possibly. Depending. Brad's off. Brad's flying off to Louisiana at some point.
Going to be out of the country for a bit, but as soon as I get back.
Film. Okay, everyone, take care. And goodbye.
Goodbye.